Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Now there have been a couple of immigration changes that have been proposed, and some of them have got a couple of dates that has been published on the gov.uk website that are going to take effect. Now, the major reason I'm sharing this video basically is because I've had conversations with people in the last few days that have been asking questions that I felt an immigrant who lives and works in the UK should know this already. So I'm not going to assume that everyone who watched this channel have a full understanding and full details of some of the immigration changes that has been made. But I'm going to share the most recent changes that has been made on immigration policies. And I'll probably say the most important or the most talked about one is around the changes to the indefinite leave to remain qualifying year. And you can see on the screen, this is planned to begin in April 2026. And I'm sure, as we all know, there's still currently, consultation going on around the changes in qualifying duration before you become eligible for indefinite leave to remain. So let's go straight to some of the changes on immigration policies that are currently being discussed on. So these are the 8 proposals that are currently on now, that some of them have got a date when they'll be implemented, some of them don't have a date yet, and some of them are still awaiting conclusions from some of the consultation being pushed out there. Now, the first one is shortening the list of jobs for which employers can sponsor a worker from overseas for a skilled worker visa. Now, jobs assessed as being medium skilled would not be sponsorable unless the MAC, which is the Migration Advisory Committee, recommends an exemption and the industry is demonstrating efforts to recruit domestically. So you definitely want to check out some of the job roles that have got the RQF level 3 to 5, which are classified as medium skilled roles. Check out those roles. I mean, they've got a list of them on gov.uk. Check out the list of those jobs. Those jobs can no longer be sponsored from the overseas anymore. So if you're going to get a job that is a medium skilled role, it has to be someone who is applying from the UK. You can apply from overseas to get sponsored on a particular role anymore. So yeah, check out those roles that have been assessed as medium skilled before you submit or fill any application. Now, also another one of the proposed measure is around ending an existing exemption for social care workers so that employers would no longer be allowed to recruit them from abroad. So I mean, it's public knowledge now that those who employers in the social care sector cannot employ care workers from abroad anymore. So I mean, it's a general knowledge, but you'll be surprised how many people are actually not aware of this information. I see someone who sent me an email, I think on Tuesday, asking about how she can support a family that's currently living in Ghana to bring them to the UK on a health care visa. And I'm so like, you live in the UK, you should know that overseas workers are no longer allowed on the health and care visa. Now, also exploring a levy on English universities' income from international students' fee. So this is one of the proposed measures that has been put in place. Now, another measure is making it harder for universities to keep their license to sponsor student visas by introducing tougher compliance and rules. Now, I mean, it's no longer, an hidden knowledge that most universities in the UK are currently struggling to get international students to move into the UK for obvious reasons. The reduction in post-study, the UK universities are no longer in quotes attractive to international students because of all of these limitations and uncertainties that comes with getting sponsored here in the United Kingdom. So many of these universities are even making the Home Office is making it even more difficult for some of these universities to be able to sponsor by tightening some of their rules and compliance regulations. Now, another proposed measures, which I mean this already has a date of implementation already, is reducing the standard length of graduate visa for international students to stay on and work in the UK from 2 years to 18 months. So basically, anyone who is currently or who is about to move into the UK on the student visa, if you're applying for a graduate route visa or the post-study work visa from the 1st of January 2027, you will no longer get a 2-year visa. Instead, you're going to get an 18-month visa. And I think if you got a PhD, it has reduced from 3 years to about 36 months. So it's no longer 36 months is 3 years actually. So I think it's reduced from 3 years to let's have a look. So yeah, it's still 36 months for those who have got PhD. So it's still the same. I think it's 3 years. 1 year is 12 months. So that's 6 months is 3 years. So I think most of those who are still on, who've got PhD, will still get their 3 years. However, those who applying with BSc or master's degree in the UK, they can only they will only get 18 months if they apply from the 1st of January 2027. Now, another thing that is being proposed basically is stricter English language rules. So it means that higher standard for those already taking language test and requiring the partner of people moving to the UK on work visas to have basic English qualifying to qualify for the dependent visa. So if you're applying for dependent visa now, you need to prove that you can speak English basically. So you get your proficiency exam done for English. Now also another which is one of the most talked about proposed changes, proposed change is on increasing the standard qualifying period for permanent residents, also known as indefinite leave to remain or settlement, from 5 years to 10 years, with some people qualifying sooner based on criteria to be decided following public consultation. So this is one of the things that many of us are actually waiting for, to hear what the Home Office is coming up after this consultation. There are lots of questions really, ranging from what happens to those who want the health and care visa. Would they need to stay for 15 years, or is there this option of staying working or staying on the health and care visa for 10 years before you become eligible for ILR, or those who are exempted from the 10 years longer, which are nurses and doctors, or those that work in the public sector. What happens to their dependents? Would their dependents also be qualified for ILR after 5 years, or they need to stay longer? I mean, there are loads of things that are still not clear on this immigration policy, on the qualifying year for ILR, which after the consultation in February, we should probably get something more concrete and definite in that regard. Also, they're also making it easier for people to come to the UK on certain visas aimed at high-skilled migrants, such as the Global Talent Visa and the Innovator Founder Visa. So these are like the visas that are not massively impacted by some of these changes. However, they are actually the UK is actually trying to attract more skilled people on these different visa categories. So as you can see, the job eligible for sponsorship, which already took effect on the 22nd of July. So we already know that is already in effect. Also the end of social care worker, which ended on the 22nd of July 2025. So no more overseas care workers being sponsored anymore in the UK. That ended on 22nd. And also some liberalization of the high potential global talent visa also took place in November 2025. So this is public knowledge. Now looking ahead, new applicants for skilled worker visa, skill up visa, high potential individual visa will need a B2 English, which is a higher standard than the current B1, and this is going to take effect from the 8th of January 2026, in case you're not aware. Now changes to indefinite leave to remain qualifying period are planned to take effect in April 2026. So if you're eligible for ILR before April, please apply as quick as possible, because some of these changes is going to take effect from the 8th of April, from April 2026, but we don't have a specific date on that yet. So we already talked about this graduate visa. If you're applying for your post-study from 1st of January 2027, you're going to get 18 months and not the 2 years, which is the regular duration for the graduate route visa. Now this consultation is going to end, or it's going to run until 12th of February 2026. So we are hoping that after 12th of February 2026, we're going to get a more concrete understanding of some of these changes on ILR. Now, if you read through some of those proposed changes, it's saying that the government announced more details on the proposal on the 20th of November 2025. The baseline period for many migrants would be 10 years. For some, will be able to apply sooner, and others will take longer. The qualifying period will now depend much more on each person's individual circumstances. Now, for example, people in the higher skill job who earn over £50,270 or work in public sector, healthcare and education roles would still qualify after 5 years. Volunteering in community will allow indefinite leave to remain after 5 years to 7 years, but those working in medium skill roles will probably take up to 15 years. The refugees will take up to 20 years. So this is still up for consultation at the moment, up until 12th of February 2026, and after that we should get like a more valid measure that the government is planning to put in place on this. So these are some of the proposed changes that are currently on. So before you make that future plan, before you make that plan for yourself and your family, please put some of this proposed measure into consideration before you move forward. And if you have any questions, state those questions in the comment section. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, I share everything UK immigration, transition into tech and personal finance on this channel. Do also hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.